Hi everyone, welcome back to Man Cave Models. This will be part 6. Really getting on with some of the smaller stuff to be fair, I think. So we're going to start off with actually we're not. Hi everyone, welcome back to Man Cave Models. And welcome back to part 6. We're going to try and get on with some of the smaller bits and bobs of this build, which will be quite nice. So where we left off, we were, excuse that, we were on section 28 and we'd done this lot. Hadn't put this shovel on, or I've just rested the spare wheel on and placed just to sort of get an idea of what it was going to look like. So we're going to do part 29, which is the rear bonnet, and I think it's their convoy, what they call a convoy light, I think. So that's what we're going to do. Now it looks like one of the parts, which it does say L12 or D2, which is here, these two, all this part here. From looking in the box, I think you can either have this in plastic or you can have it in it. There's a clear part, so you paint that bit clear. What's that? X11. What's X11? Let's have a double check what X11 is. Is silver. So I think you paint that silver, and the other bit is painted X25, which I think is clear red. I'll just double check. X25, clear green. I didn't expect that. X25, clear green. I didn't expect that. See, that says in between X5. Oh man, maybe it's X5. Oh, so green. So X5 is green. Bit inconclusive really, so 0.6. So it's telling us to paint. So that's green. X25 is clear green, which is the back edge of it, and I make some, so what it is if you're doing the clear part, it's X25, which is D2, and if you're doing the plastic part, which is A12, it's just green. So that's what the difference is. So should we go for the clear part and then just mask it up? I think that's what we'll do. I've got to get clear parts out to mask up for the windscreen anyway. And yes, I need to invest in a less squeaky chair, I think. Troubles, they get really comfortable. You get used to your chair. So that's the part. It's all up there, that X5. Drop him off. And the other part, that's it. The other part was A11. It'd be nice if they design a kit where all the trees, you use like one tree does a certain amount of your build in one go, and the other tree does the other amount of build, so you're not going tree A, tree B, tree C for one part. There it is. Here, that's the part. I might as well cut off, because on that part it's asking for the boot lid, bonnet, or whatever you want to call it, lid at the same time, so we might as well do that. Cut that off, which is part E10, E10, ET phone. So I'm trying a bit of a different setup with the camera at a different angle, and I'm sort of hoping you'll get a better view of what I'm doing instead of just being like on top like that all the time. So we'll give you a bit more of a view of what we're doing. I'm hoping it'll work. I don't know, because I feel like somebody else is sat right beside me with it, so we'll soon see. If I might have to, I don't know, wait and see. So that's that part. That's this part. Just clean this bit up a minute. So I was looking at the plans, and I think I've come up with the camouflage pattern that I like. So it's only given me a few options on these plans. You can have sand or Duncan Gale, you can have grey, or you can have the green camouflage pattern. And I thought I quite liked was that one. There is that one. And I actually quite like that one. If anybody thinks anything different, let me say. But I'm going to go at the moment. I'm leaning towards that one. I am open to change, but right. I suppose that means now we've got to dig out some paint. So we've got paint this bit inside there, silver. We can get that to the camera. Yeah, silver. And then we've got the paint, the back of this, which is the back. It's hard to say. Right, that's the back. That strip there, green. So all I need to do is find. Now that's a no. I'm gonna do. Flat aluminium, I think, because it's quite a light silver. Get the obligatory water cup. I'm not spraying it, I'm just going to hand paint this. And a decent brush. What I want to use, probably do. Now, have I got? I had a bit of a tidy up, and that's what I want. A bit of a pain to hold it, so I'm just sticking it onto a bit of blue tack. I've got to remember where this camera is now. not the result we're looking for. It's because, right, bit of old schoolboy error here, look. Numpty nuts here. Didn't stir the paint. Yeah, needs a bit of a slap for that one, I think. Right, I'm going to get out 2 seconds. Bad Carlos. And that should, I say that should do it, so apparently it's not. Better. Don't know why I'm busting myself up about it, to be fair. It's one of those, you probably won't see it. Right, so that's the silver bit of it done. I think, look at that, look. This, well, I'm going to have to stick that on there as well, I think. That's it. Always have handy to have a little bit of blue tack kicking around. So this is the Tamiya clear, which is the X25. I used this a little while ago on the boat lights. Right. Apparently that's it for a second. We'll let that dry. Clean the brush off. Well, if you wanted a nice, like a silvery green, a little bit of that in there. Look at that, lovely colour. It's like a metallic turquoise or something stupid. Yeah, always handy to have a little bit of a stash of stuff in front of you. I've got all my paints are over the other side of the room normally, but because I've been doing bits and pieces here and there, I've got a stash with me. Oh, this is, there we go. So this is where that big decision comes in, is to, I'm not putting the, it's asking for the pump to be put on, or the foot pump, and I think it's a starting crank, but there's the foot pump, which is what we painted this when we were doing the engine bay. I can't put it on there yet, because if I do, the problem I will have is I've got to still paint this. That's if I have the bonnet open. So look at where this goes. So he will sit just like that if he's open. And I can't decide whether I want it open. I know I did say at the very beginning that this could be a lot of work we're putting in that will never get seen, so we could do that. Decisions. I don't know. The only other thing that we could possibly do is leave it off, paint it as a separate, but you've still got to manage to hold it and paint it, and then decide. I'll tell you what, I'll leave it off for a minute on this video, and I'll leave it up to you. So if people comment and say leave it on or open, I'll leave it open, and if you comment saying leave it closed, I'll leave it closed, but it has to be within, say, by so this will be aired on Sunday, so the following Friday, ready for the next, so I can no, because I hang on a minute. I'll tell you what I'll do. I will do it that way, but I won't do it on this video. I'll do a short little video in between. And if I don't get a message, then I shall decide myself. That's the easiest. But I think I know it's nice to see the engine bay and stuff, but this kit for me is not going to be that sort of kit. To be fair, not because I don't like the kit or what. It'd be because surely with that open, and if I did the doors open, yeah, no, I don't know. I'll wait and decide. Anyway, so that's that bit. So we shall put that to one side. So then it is asking for the panel that goes here, and there's a little handle on that, so I can do the handle on that at the same time. Get rid of that before I knock it over. That's the normal one, isn't it? And get rid of that because I don't want to scratch the glass. So let's get it. So this is that panel, which is part B20. If you've been building along, or you're building the same kit, you have to message and say what you think of the kit. It's an old Tamiya kit. Tamiya kits are normally quite good, and can't say I've had any problems. Normally, if it's anything, it'd be builder's error more than the kit itself. To be fair, different 1/16 scale. It can be a bit different sometimes, because I'm pretty certain they just take the small kit and enlarge it. They don't. They don't look at it as in it's a bigger kit, throw more detail in it. Because like I was saying on our last video, there should be a firewall in there. To be fair, but there isn't for the size, and being that it's quite a big kit, you'd think that they would have done it, but they haven't. That's the only gripe. Oh God, I knew that was going to happen. Let's take that out. So, you may notice that I've I've put the wooden slats in. I haven't painted them, they've got to be painted. I'm going to try and get a lot of painting done in one go rather than back and forth. The seats, these front seats, are a nightmare. They're not a bad fit. Yeah, there's two pegs, and they sit on the two pegs locate into the floor. And the problem with it is the seats are sort of back heavy, so you've got to try and get them into place, force them in, and then hope the glue will take position when you want it. And of course, as I wasn't trying to glue them in, I just wanted to rest them in place. It was every time I put the one seat in and went to do the other seat, and the other one would fall over. So that's, if I can squeeze that back a little bit, because I'm sure that's supposed to lip onto there. Oh, squeeze onto it, which it doesn't seem to want to. Bring that back in, double check the fit. That's okay, that's cool. Right, so the little grab handle to go there, and a little grab handle to go on that one. So let's cut those off, and they are small. So these are part E7, which are, hang on, look. So it's these bits here. They are quite small. When I've got bits like that, I tend to try and cut the sprue around them first, like that, so you're not dancing with the whole sprue while you're trying to do it. Now these cutters are quite sharp, so I'm hoping I'll get away with it. And if I don't, you might hear me crying for about half an hour. So let's give it a go. As close as I can. One. Yeah, two. Yeah, like I say, these clippers are quite sharp. Now the hard part is going to be cleaning that off, so what I might actually do is put it on the kit and clean it off afterwards so it's solid. Face it that way, look. And then there's no so if I face it that way, so if I can get that into the camera, come on, there you go. If I face it that way, that bit there at the top, you can sand off with obviously none of this in the way. You do the same with that top one on here. Bit of goop. Yeah, let that go. one more bit of sprue for the bin. Right, so A15, this is the number plate, let's do that one as well. What I should have done was on each sprue put a bit of masking tape on the sprue. It's easy to say what I should have done, isn't it? What I should have done was put a bit of masking tape on the sprue and then just mark the sprue in like marker pen in bigger letters so you can see it clearly. A15 we're looking for. Which is this bit, A15, and that is the number plate. So I promised I'd cut the grass today, and the forecast shows it was coming in. I think it was between 1 and 2 or something like that. So I was doing something else, which is for this other kit, and I said I'll finish what I was doing. I'll go and cut the grass, and as soon as I got like nearly finished, it hammered down, and then I couldn't go and cut the grass because it's now wet. So yes, lucky escape. I'm not a keen gardener, let's put it that way. So there's the number plate. I've got to get used to where this camera is. Bear with me, please. Yeah, there's your number plate. Our little handle. That all sitting nice like that. Glue. There you go. Something like that. I quite like it closed personally. Right, so that should have given us enough time with that to have dried off. I've got a sneaky feeling it just goes that way. There you go, that's it there. So we stick that one in place. Glue. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what I look like with a bit of colour in them, won't it? Still think it's too light. Yep. So that will bring us on to the next page, which, bear with me a minute. So it looks like we are on section 31, doors. So I've cut the doors off. I have labelled them on the outside because there's 2 8s and 2 15s. Haven't put the latches and that on. They'll cut them off. So we'll clean seam marks off with them in place. A bit easier. And looking at the underside of these doors, look, they need a bit of filling. Nice. So I'll get the cut marks off, and then we'll look at filling them. So I'll do one on camera, so just clean off a bit. Now I find this plastic quite hard actually. I've been working on the side with doing some bits for my other the other build that I'm doing, which is the 1/16 I Love kit, which I think are trumpeter kits. M4A1 medium tank is the late one, the cast hull. So I've been doing a few of bits and bobs in the meantime, so like track links. Started doing the bogies for it, which are, excuse my arm, which are here. The size of that compared to the kubelwagen. Yeah, so I've been doing a few little bits and pieces on that, and the plastic on that for the seam marks is actually really quite nice to sand. The only downfall I think with it at the moment is it's got rubber tyres. This has got rubber tyres as well, and yeah, I'm not too keen on sanding those. They're a bit of a nightmare. Right, I'll just go in, clean these up a minute, and then we'll fill one. So I've decided I was going to get the filler out, but I thought I'd give it a little bit of a sand and see if they were quite shallow, and they're quite shallow. Look, it's a bit of a coarse sand. I'll just go over the top of it with a fine just to clear some of the scratches out a little bit. It's one of those, I've just cut down one of those finer nail files or nail sanding pads, just cut off a bit so you can get into areas. So, like I say, they're old pads, and it doesn't, once you get to a certain age, if you cut it down, you cut it down, it doesn't matter, but it can be quite handy. So that one's cut like that, so you can bend it and get it in, and just clean out the the dust a minute. There, sink mark's gone. That's cool. Right, so we're just going to clean these up a little bit. So according to the plans, it only has those catches, these, in the front. It doesn't show it in the back, but it must do, mustn't it? It must have them, because all these have got that. I'll show you on the plan. So if you look at, it doesn't tell you to turn them upside down, does it? That's just that's what you're seeing. That's the other side. You know, I'm bloody silly. So we'll cut these off, and then I'll clean these up quickly, and then we'll fit them. Right, so our doors were cleaned up. Cut the handles off, and they're ready to go. Now what you remember on these is, if you look on the nub, you've got that one there, and then that one there as well. So So you see one's got a bigger nub than the other. So the one with the small one goes on the handle plate, and that goes on the outside of the door. And there's our plate here. There. Just try and get this, move this around. There, that's a bit better for you. So let's get this one done. I'll stick the glue in there. I don't want to go through that hole at the moment because I don't want it seeping through into the underside of the door. Stick that one in. Make sure he's straight. Which I think he is. I'll just give him a little bit of glue around the edge. Bit of glue in that hole. So this is the small nubbed one we're going to put in. He sits in there, like that. Make sure he's sitting where he's supposed to, like that. A little bit of extra glue on the edge. No, because I've cleaned off this edge here, but a little bit of glue around it to clean up some of it is quite a good idea. Because this tamiya glue will melt some of these edges for you if you need them to. Bit of glue on this side of the door. Can't see because the pot head's in the way. And then that one pops into that. Oh, I thought that was going to go then. You hear that ting? It's like, it's gone. Did it with a spring earlier, and it took me ages to find it. So I'll put some more on that edge, right there, because that, there we go, that is where it is on the screw gate. So although you clean it off, it does help clean it up a little bit, and then look down sideways. Make sure they're where they're supposed to be. I see that one offsets a little bit, doesn't it? It's not me. It's the it is the kit. And that's that one. So I have got to do this so I can put it down so it's not squashing it. I can go there a minute. Stick his door on his back here. So A, which are 8. A's 8 and B's are 15. Keep that there a minute. So we can actually fit the doors. Cool. Stick it there. So if we start with this side first. This side first. So we are after A, which I did say A was 8. So there's an 8. That's a 15. Cool. That looks quite cool, doesn't it? Got glue on that to hold them in place a minute. Give him a bit more better glue in a minute. Just line those hinges upwards slightly. That's better. I could do this from the inside, but I'd have to take all the seats and everything out. And the centre. So first siding. So what I can do is I can grab that, let that run down the sides, eat a bit. Like that. I think A, what did I say A was? A's and A. It's easy because the flat part should be on the top, like that. I forgot I'm working backwards to myself. That gives it a bit of bite to start. Not so easy when you've got tubby fingers. Something about those seats being really annoying. Well, starting to look like what we want it to look like, isn't it? That's a tight fit. Bit of a design defect there, isn't it? If you think, if you look at that, you'd actually catch the door, wouldn't you? See it? Yeah, well, yeah, because if you like that, you're okay, because there's a door seam, and bear in mind the door opens this way. So with that down, like that, with the windscreen where it's supposed to sit, that actually encroaches on the door lip. There you go. I'm going to have to take these seats out in a minute, because that is annoying me already. Sorry about that. Yeah. Put that there we go. That's bound to drop out on us as well. But there you go. Looking pretty good. There's a very tight joint there on there. That it's almost like it needs to go that way a bit. not too worried about it being a bit of a, because we can run a scribe down that if we need to. Same with this one really. Almost like it needs to come back slightly. Yeah. So that's them in place. Headlights. Now the doors have had time to set. It only looks like it leaves us a few more steps before we are in the paint mode. So we are on. We did the doors. We're on the doors are fit. So we were on step 32. We're fitting the doors, and we've got looks like the horn and the headlights to do, and a couple of wing nuts on the windscreen. So we'll get those bits off. Bit of light back on there. We'll get those off, and then we are good to go. We'll get right. So this is the parts that we will be using. Clear. I say that's the parts, I've just lost one. That's a bit of a pig in it. I shall find it in a second. No, it is saying to put the glass in these lights. Sort of a bit. I am going to put it in, but the problem you have is I don't think you're going to get much benefit from it. There's no point painting all this silver, because once it's in place you don't really, it's quite dark, so we'll put the glass in, and then we can just mask it up to give that bit of a something there. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the glass into this bit. Now, according to the plans, you put it in the other piece, but it sits really deep. And I'm just going to drop some because I don't want it frost up around the edge. You're not going to see that on these. Just push it in slightly with my brush, end of a brush. That sits in quite well. And then just drop it in, if I can get hold of it. Chubby fingers, see. There. Bit of glue around that. So if I painted the inside of the light, then tried to glue it, and then paint it, or paint the inside, and leave it to last. So gluing it would be a nightmare, because it would just, the glue would go all over the paint and burn through the paint. So I'm going to opt for just maybe putting a bit of mask or something in there when we're ready. Still got the rear, I think it's called convoy light to put in on the back yet. That's dried because we did that yesterday, and today is a different day. I would have done it yesterday, but the battery on the camera died. It won't let you charge it and use it at the same time. It's not a bad shout, gives things time to dry. Just dump that over there a minute. So that's that one drying, that's that one drying, that's that one drying, that's that, and yes, I've got to find the other one that we had what I had until just now. I'll have a bit of a tidy up at some point as well. Right, I'm just going to have a quick look for this and then we will fit the parts. Right, found it. And that is, you can see that, it's tiny, isn't it? Look. Midget little things. Right, so that's the parts ready to go. We'll stick there. I'm going to just move them out of the way because I'm bound to knock them off. Start with the headlights. I'll put a drop of glue in each hole first. I built the 1/16 scale kubelwagen. I think about a year or so ago. It was the Edward one. They're not cheap. And to be honest, you forget actually how big these are when you make them, because they don't look massive until you start putting it together, and it's quite a big kit, to be fair. Which I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. It makes a change. But this is the. Now all these parts have got little keyways in them, proper keyways. So you can't really go far wrong putting them in. Now I have cut the shovel off, which I won't put on till after we painted, because it'll be easier to paint off and just paint the clips. Right, so that's those little bits on. I think it's a better camera angle altogether, actually, from what I have been filming. I'm going to have to might change it up a little bit, because I feel a little bit claustrophobic with the camera there. You sort of like move and you catch the camera. So then that leaves us. I'm not putting the figure in, because that'll be another extremely long video. To be fair, and this is, I think, what's just part 6, and they're hour long each. I'm not getting a lot of views, to be fair, because I think people just get fed up with watching it for an hour. But the idea is you sit there and build along. I'm building here and I'm watching something on YouTube myself at the moment, just for something in the background. So we're going to we'll do these two bits next, and the wing mirror, and that is showing that, but it doesn't make sense, because that's saying it's a clear part and it's saying X7, which is just red. I thought, well, maybe being a clear part, that would be like a clear red or something, unless no, because it's red either side, so it doesn't really make much sense. So I think I'll just put it on as it is and then paint the red afterwards. Right, so we're after part B14, B15 and A14. So we go here. Right, little piece off. I've left the steering wheel on there, so I will clean it up on there, and I'll take it off when I'm ready to paint. Just makes life, I just find it a little bit easier. Because by the time you strip this back down, there's quite a few parts that you're having to put in clamps to paint, and it soon becomes it soon takes up all your space. Only go so far. Looks a little boat there, look. Yeah, I know where the other one went. There he is. Hiding it away. So I've been building I keep telling myself I'm not going to buy 3D printed kits, things like that anymore, because they are a lot of work, a lot of cleanup involved. And like I say, this video's dragged on a little bit because I didn't film anything for a while because I was trying to clear one off the bench, and it was the PBR, the Vietnam boat. So you all know Apocalypse Now. You never get off the boat. Well, it's that boat, for those that don't know it. In 1/16 scale, so it's huge. And I bought it last time I went to Bovington Tank Museum. There's a company there. They always go there, called 3D Gizmo. If you look them up online, they actually got some nice kits. If you're prepared to do the work with the clean up and that, there's probably easier ways to clean all the stuff up. To be fair, I'm not a big 3D builder, so to speak, of kits. I've got plenty of 3D stuff. I've got printers and stuff like that. Design a lot of my own parts and print them off. I did redesign the engines on the PBR, but anyway, I'm getting sidetracked there. The 3D Gizmo, and it's like a family business, and they are really, I find them to be really helpful, and so what I might do is I might just do a little video on, because I've had a few of their kits now, on the kits that I've actually had off of them, and I have built. Right, so there's our wing mirrors. Right, so looking at that, it's going to be easier to add those little bits. One's disappeared again. That's what I said, if I don't move it, it will be gone, didn't I? And I moved it and it's gone. So let's add those before I lose any more. But yes, I'll do a little video on the kits that I have got off them. I don't know if I'd want to. I don't know if I considered doing a video on putting one together, because it is very time consuming. But I don't mind doing a quick, like a show and tell of some of the kits that I've done off of a lovely BMW motorbike, like a German BMW motorbike, which is all resin, and that is a lovely little kit. But it's like any of the 3D kits, you have to put a little bit of work into it. They've all got their little quirks about them. Like the resin, you end up with like little lines. You get lines with the other one to be honest, but how can I put it? The lines are with the resin. You can sand the lines out easier with the I'm just looking at this. If I put the wing mirrors on now, we are not going to get this part off. I'm going to leave them off, I think, and then I'm going to do, when we spray, I'll do the inside, and then I can add them to it, because they only sit there like that. Well, actually, if that sits like that, that looks like that wheel. It looks a bit weird, doesn't it? That's because it's the wrong one. If that does just sit over that, and don't fix it in deep, so it sits like that, then that should come off still. Right, cool. Yeah, I think I'll get it off. Right, all I need to find now is that wing mirror, which was some. Oh, I know where it is. This bit. Quick clean up. The magic green stuff. Like that. And I think that just sits on there like that then. It's going to be one of those things you knock off all the time, isn't it? Yeah. So that just leaves the windscreen to put in once I've masked it up and painted it. Oh, that weird thing, isn't it? It's got to go on the back. Still haven't decided on that though. So that's it. See that? It goes on the back. Now actually, so it's saying it sits. I hate clear parts. Can't see what's smooth and what's not smooth. the smooth side. Apparently it sits there. That's right. Yeah, it sits there. We'll stick him on. I don't know how long he'll stay there. Yeah, so he actually sits right there. Can't see that staying on there for long, can you? Driving around in the mud. So that was our, oh, it's not our last piece, this is our last piece, because we're not having the top up, we're having it down. This is our last piece, which I did off camera. There, we are ready for paint. How cool is that? So that's it for this video. I think next video we'll get it some paint going. Yeah, bro, getting near the end of the build. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Like I say, please like and subscribe. It does help to grow the channel. All of my, I think I've got what, 20 subscribers at the moment. But hey, it'll get better the more you do. Yes, anyway, so next video should be covering painting, see how we get on with that, because I don't really want to miss a lot of the video. Like, you don't see what I'm doing so much. It's yeah, I like to be able to show you what's going on, because this channel is for people that are just starting out, and it's also for people that have been modelling for a while, and you know, they might see something I do that they find handy, or they might see something I do and they go, oh, shouldn't do that, do it a different way, and then I learn as well then. So anyway, until then, thanks for watching everybody, and that's it. Bye for now.